Hi, I'm Mr. Brown. I'm an 8th grade social studies teacher, and I want to tell you about a song that I wrote a few years ago for Veterans Day. I wrote this song on the guitar. I'm not a professional musician, but I was inspired to write a song because of my father-in-law, Jerry Bay. He served as a combat veteran in Vietnam, and he's a hero to me and to my family, and not because he has Purple Hearts and a Silver Star and a Bronze Star and other medals. He's a hero to us because he's always there for us when we need him. It's that kind of service that makes him a real hero. For the past 20 years, my father-in-law has worked for the DAV, the Disabled American Veterans, trying to help veterans get medical care or financial support that they need and deserve when they come home. And in my song, you're going to hear a story of a soldier that makes it home and finds a new purpose. A lot of times, soldiers' lives are changed. And I've done lots of research, and my wife and I actually went to the Missouri Veterans Home, did several interviews, and it was strange to me as I wrote the song how many stories that veterans have match my song so well, because there's one theme that they all have, and it is a life that they were leading that they gave up. They gave up their hopes and dreams so that you and I can live a happy life, and so that you and I can have the freedoms that we want and freedoms that we have in this country. And some pay the ultimate sacrifice. You'll see a young man in my video, a former student of mine, a former wrestler of mine, who paid the ultimate sacrifice last spring when he was killed by a suicide bomber in Afghanistan, Joseph Semper. And he literally gave away his life so that we could have our hopes and dreams. That's a theme in my song also. The best way you can thank a vet is to live a life, a good life, and reach your hopes and your dreams, since they gave up theirs for you. Example, my father-in-law had the hopes and dreams to be a professional baseball player and was on track for that. He had 2 baseball tryouts with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then his life changed when he was drafted to Vietnam. And that's a theme a lot of veterans have. They either give up their life or a life they were leading so that you and I could have our hopes and dreams. My video, I would like to be a tribute to all veterans, and I want to say to all veterans, thank you for your service. My song, I want to dedicate on behalf of my father-in-law. Vietnam veterans have a special place in my heart. I want to dedicate my song to Vietnam veterans, and I want to say thank you for your service. And most importantly, I want to say, welcome home.
He's a typical guy with a job and a wife, and the time came when his country called. He joined the army and he went to war without knowing what he's fighting for. But he learned from his dad, who was an army man, when it's time to serve, you give all you can. 'Cause some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth dying for. The best things you can give, live a life worth living. Some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth dying for. And the best things you can give, live a life worth living. Now the days were long and he fought so hard. He thought of his wife as he wrote letters home. His thoughts of her made life a little easier, all the way up to the end, when he took a bullet for his friend. And as he died, he looked in his eyes, and this is what he said: you gotta make it home, live a good life. We can't let down another wife. And please remember, some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth dying for. And the best things you can give, live a life worth living. Some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth dying for. And the best things you can give, live a life worth living. Now the buddy made it home to see his wife, and he found a new purpose for his life. He visits hospitals, schools, and graves, says thanks every day for the lives that are saved. And on the 11th of each November, he tells a story only he can remember, about a man who died to save his life so he could make it home and see his wife. And he spreads this message to everyone: some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth dying for. The best way to think of it: live a life worth living. Some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth dying for. The best way to think of it: live a life worth living. Some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth dying for. The best thanks you can give: live a life worth living. Live a life worth living.